We have amongst us, Mr. Kaushik Bhattacharya. Okay, yeah. Ina Bose ma'am will felicitate Swami Bidadikananda Ji Maharaj. People at the back, please come to the front. Kindly take a seat, sir. We have among us Mr. Kaushik Bhattacharya, CEO and founder, Ranjia Digital, who also happens to be the moderator for the session. Welcome, sir. Requesting Ina ma'am again to felicitate sir. We welcome Mr. Dipankar Chattopadhyay. Oh, he hasn't come yet, okay. So next we have among us Mr. Shudipto Guho, technocrats cum chartered financial analyst, consultant for World Bank and ADB projects. Also the former director of Nikon. Welcome, sir. Requesting Ina ma'am to kindly felicitate, sir. Next we have among us Dr. Borun Bhattacharya, scientist, research and development, East India Pharmaceuticals Limited. Welcome, sir. Requesting Ina ma'am to kindly felicitate. Yes. And as for the last eminent speaker of the panel, Advocate Harshada Vadkar, Senior Manager, Technology Transfer, IP Commercialization, IKP Prime. Welcome, ma'am. Requesting senior officials to felicitate, ma'am. So from here over to our moderator, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Thank you very much. I think this is a very rare opportunity. This is my many a times at SNU. And hello students, may I get your attention please? I have come to SNU many a times, but today it is a bit different. Why it is a bit different? Because today's topic and the partnership between SNU and Maccaus is unique. And how exactly research, R&D are making your future brighter and India's future brighter, and how exactly these collaborations are happening. We are today here to talk about that and give students, you guys, a very definite picture how exactly your future would be shaping up through the current activities which is happening in India and also in your university. So, good afternoon guys. Thank you very much. So, to set the context as a moderator, today's India is actually going to become the third largest economy of the world very soon. So, as I always say, you are very proud, you are very lucky that you are currently in India which is posting year on year around 8% growth in this turmoil situation globally, where India is the only large, fastest growing economy currently in the world. And post-COVID, no country has posted such remarkable growth. And also, India is planning that it should become a developed nation by 2047. And to become developed nation, we all know, and also recently India has become world's third largest military power. So we all have seen this, and it takes a lot to come to this stage, and where it was, even few years back India were. So to make, when India would become a developed nation in 2047, you guys would be the helm of affairs. You would be at your career peak, whatever you would be doing, either business or you would be doing some job. Some of you would be somewhere there in the US or Europe as a global CEO, or leading some international organization, but you all would be representing India. So you should know well in your country, how exactly your country is planning for your future. So which is, so to become a developed nation with everything, India has to develop in different technologies. If you remember, in earlier days, when we had 100cc bikes coming into the market, all of those were actually collaborations. Technology was someone else's, like, Rajdut Yamaha, TVS Suzuki, and currently, India has its own R&D, and Indian bikes are actually beating Chinese bike and even European bikes in the Africas and everywhere. So Indian R&D over the period has really become very strong. Currently, India is at the 7th position globally. India spends around $65 billion on R&D. However, the amount is very small as far as India's GDP is concerned. So for India's GDP, this amount even has to go even further. However, India's, this investment on R&D is continuously growing. And, but the trajectory is, in developed nations, main investment on R&D, research development, innovation is done by academia and enterprises. In India, it is a bit different. Major chunk of it is actually done by central government. Even state government also doesn't play a key role here. I can say West Bengal and Bihar, they spend 0.01% of their GDP into R&D. So major spend is by central government. However, a country's ecosystem can only develop when there is involvement of academia and industry. That is the reason why looking at the, skill gap, and also looking at the current situation, how exactly we have to improve and catch up fast with the, developed nations, in the new education policy, lot of stress has given on skill development and university industry linkage, and also entrepreneurship in industry and various other programs. I can, say some of the programs like Global Innovation Index. India is standing from 81st rank. India has come up to 48th rank. And National Deep Tech Startup Policy has been enacted, and also Anusandhan National Research Foundation Act 2023 has also been enacted. So these all has become act. There are different central programs like Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaboration Spark, Implementing Research Innovation and Technology Imprint, and Uchchatar Avishkar Yojana UAY. So all these areas central government is giving fund. But still, the inclination for skill development, there is National Skill Development Corporation, there is Sector Skill Council, all this collaboratively. But how is the result? Our students are really interested to learn skills, and how exactly academia is bridging this gap. So for this, we have a very, very, I'm lucky that I'm moderating an extremely distinguished panel today. And all the panelists are, very eminent and practically doing hands-on work in their own fields. So if I can start with Maharaj, I have the privilege of working closely with Maharaj and seen what is the kind of activities Belur Shilpo Mandir undertakes in terms of skill development. So, Maharaj, if I may start with you, you are seeing skill development, you are also seeing new education policy, how India is poised to become a major superpower, all this trajectory putting together, how you see skill development, people are accepting, coming for newer skills, what is students' inclination, and how exactly you see the coming days, shaping up for the young minds that they are sitting in the audience today.
First of all, India is poised to become the third greatest economy in the world. Kaushik Babu mentioned it. Now, at the same time, let us remember that India was the number one economy in the world about 1,000 years ago. Then we lost it. So now, if we have to go back to the top, there are no shortcuts. This is the first point. The second point is, the NEP panel was headed by Dr. Kasturi Rangan. Now, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, when he was finalizing the draft of his NEP, he came to Belur Math. He met with the head of institutions of Ramakrishna Mission, various education institutions, he met with them. I was also there. I asked him a question at that time. This happened in Belur Math headquarters conference room. I asked him, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, what is the type of person you are expecting to come out of the NEP 2020? So he made a very interesting observation. He said, we expect to bring about a change in the mindset of the people. Education is not, there is no gap in the education in this country. But what has happened is, as a result of the education, the mindset that is growing in our students, in our generations, in our younger people, is not serving the nation. So, research, for example, in this country today, the research standards are extremely low. So, research doesn't have, what shall I say, specific outcomes. So, research is today seen in terms of what is the publication, scopus, H-index, stuff like that. Whereas, research has to be out of a necessity. So there is a deep necessity which is functional, which is economic in nature, that is felt, and there are brains. हम लोगों का बुद्धि, हमारे बुद्धि किंतु कम नहीं. Because a same Indians, when they go to a better environment, an environment which enables this, we find them thriving. In fact, half the electronic equipment in this room has an Indian brain behind, but that brain had to go to Europe or to America, an enabling environment, and then things came out. Whereas, that need not be the case. So, to remove that stigma is one of the aims of NEP 2020. Ki kore hobe? Unfortunately, Dr. Kasturi Rangan also doesn't know how that has to be done. Nobody knows in this country. Eta amader moddhe, we have to work, struggle hard and come out of it. You see, it will certainly start Asian countries matro if we take into consideration. So, collaboration at multiple levels has to start. It is already happening, but it has to be strengthened. Collaborations. Eta most probably apnar black plague, ja holo, black plague. Oitar por ki holo, Indians have stopped collaborating in a major way with other countries. So we find in our history, we find records that there were Indian colonies in Greece. Indian colonies in Greece. Puro mane ekta Brahman pada bole bhabte paren. Ei rokom ekta pada chilo, full of Brahmin, full of Hindus, full of Indians. So now people don't want to go out. So skill development er kotha bolchen. Skill level is not your SNU level nahi. SNU is, these are all degree, post degree thinkers. Whereas I work with people who will work with their hands. Ajke samasya ki, samasya hocche at that level, the boy wants to take, he takes birth in somewhere, Belur, Bali, Uttarpada, he'll get educated there and he cannot go out of that place. He wants a job in that place. So, eto jadi sankirna buddhi hoy, very, very difficult. So, there are records where Mesopotamian temples were built by Indian craftsmen. So today we are seeing there is a brisk migration of thinkers in India, whereas workers will continue to stay here. The day we are able to achieve that, we should be able to exchange the technician level people. That is when the rise in the economy that Kaushik Babu mentioned is going to come up. Last ekta point bolbo, ekta very specific point in the NEP 2020 document. So they have given lot of emphasis for laboratory to laboratory interactions between countries. Prochur otar norms guluke prochur suvidha kore diyeche ora. So that is one area which can be immediately exploited. We have already started working with Indo-French collaboration sache amader, Indo-Canada collaboration sache amader. So, eta ki hobe, that is how cross-pollination happens. So, there are certain things which are very good with us, they need it. There are very, very good things with them, which we will need. So, ami eituku bolbo ekhon. Later on, as the discussion continues, I'll enter into this.
Maharaj, the kind of perspective you have given is actually very thrilling. That we Indians used to travel globally, we had colonies, our craftsmen and skilled people contributed in their civilization development. It gives a sense of pride to us today. So it is very important that we get a sense of pride from our past, we take lesson from our past and we build our, we work on today so that we can build our future. So for building the future, lot of activities are being carried out. So I have someone who has closely seen lot of World Bank projects, ADB projects. He has worked for Government of India undertaking and also vividly worked on central government projects, how exactly currently government is undertaking different measures and steps so that India actually can become a superpower, and how exactly academia and industry can collaborate on research particularly, and what are those areas, and how is exactly he looking the future to be shaping up. I would go over to Mr. Sudipta Guho, sitting on my left, and a very, very enlightened, knowledgeable person. Mr. Guho, if I may come to you, please, to, enlighten us a bit.
Let me start from 1947 and onwards. From 47 to 1991, basically, we were importing technologies in most of the fields from Russia or some other countries. For example, for steel plants, for power plants and all, we are basically importing from US and Russia and all these companies, and even aerospace. Whereas we opened our IITs, we had our electronics department, aerospace, naval architecture, civil engineering and all. So what engineers they used to do, they used to leave country for US and all, and it was common for most of the IITians and IIM managers basically. In 1991, when we were basically student, and I was sitting like you in various seminars and all, and Professor Tathagata Ray and all, they used to come to our university for similar type of seminar. We had basically no hope. We thought India will die like anything. Means when during our school life, our teachers used to say ki there is no future for India. But from 91, India changed like anything. We never thought that some companies like TCS or Infosys may come. What TCS? We didn't know what is TCS or Infosys or Microsoft or something. That was it was not known to us. In Jadavpur University, toppers were getting around 3,050 rupees salary job in 1996-97. I am talking about. So this was India, and suddenly in 1995, this TCS came to market, and it changed everything. TCS took 150 guys from our campus. It was 7.5 thousand. It was used for engineering students at that time. So thereafter, Infosys, Wipro, and so many companies, and then in South India, the big tech companies like IBM and all these type of companies came for their working. But what exactly happened? We were basically working for like a user basically, or we are basically working on application. For example, suppose give me one small example: AutoCAD. We are using AutoCAD. AutoCAD changed the whole civil engineering industry basically. Earlier, when we were a student, we used to draw through this pencil and all, and it changed everything. But how to build that type of solution, that type of software, it was not known to us. And we never even tried. From 1991 to around 2014, we basically worked like user. But for last 10 years, basically government changed another policy, and they thought about the manufacturing and all. And with manufacturing this type of new research and all, they started coming to India. For example, we are not self-reliant in even food. We carried out our Green Revolution in 1966, but 60% of our oil we had to import from various countries. As far as software and other defense technology, space technology is concerned, we are absolutely dependent on other countries. Also, it's fact that in case of missile and space, we also had some indigenous technology. But after 2014-15, government made another change in their policy, and they started working for this generating this indigenous technology. Now, what is example of India's one indigenous technology? That is UPI. UPI changed whole this payment system all over the world. Even US and UK, they don't have such easy payment system. And what happened thereafter for you students, those who are sitting here, those probably you may have some frustration that after 4 years or something there is no good job or something in IT, salary is going down. You will be just astonished to see you after 10 years when India will change like anything. That we also never thought in 90s. We thought there is no future in India, at least for engineers or any other technocrats or something. And that is due to basically our investment in disrupting technology. That a technology that will change the whole situation of technology and all. Now, firstly, let me tell you in which sectors government is investing more, where the private players are investing more, and thirdly, as a university, as private university, SNU, where they should invest to make their income more as a research institute. Number one, defense sector, space sector, and agriculture. Here government is investing like anything. In defense sector, let me tell you how new kind of technology comes. Maybe you got a news 3 days back. Earlier there was, you know that we are fighting with other countries with lathis and all, and thereafter with these shells and all. But now there is absolutely no human being in field and they will fight like anything. You see how Israel is fighting with Hamas and other people. Around 4,000 Pizat, you know what happened thereafter. So these type of new technologies are coming and government is investing in this type of sector. Now, for students who are in basically electronics, computer, instrumentation, or maybe the other sector, electrical, they have huge scope in this sector. For space, government is privatizing their research. Earlier, research was concentrated only on ISRO and all. Nowadays, Jadavpur University and all, they are getting all the research projects and all. For private universities, I will suggest you that, and probably you are also going for the same direction. The retired professors who had the experience with ISRO and all these type of organization from IITs, your institute need to hire them so that you can get all these type of projects. Then I am telling you, you need not to go out for your job and all. There is unlimited opportunity in research in this type of fields like defense, space and agriculture and all. And thereafter third part is patent. And madam, she will be talking about patent. Earlier our patent system was absolutely poor. And that's why no one was concentrating on taking poor. If you go to Delhi, they will harass you like this one. Now our government infrastructure in patent that got a structural change in last few years. And you will be astonished to know that in last year, around, if I am not wrong, I took it from Google only, there are around 1 lakh record-breaking patent application from various institutes of India. So what I am telling, for research and all, you have unlimited opportunity in this country. And remaining part, I think Madam can enlighten about how to get patent and all.
I think
That's all.
Shudipto has given a very good insights into several things. Yes.
Excuse me, sir. We'll just
Yes.
take a minute. So we have another speaker with us. May I please request Dr. Dipankar Chattopadhyay, Professor, Department of Polymer Science and Technology, University of Calcutta, to come here on the dais. Welcome, sir. Requesting Ina ma'am and HODs of other departments to kindly felicitate sir.
Please, to felicitate. Please, appeal to shout.
For MBA, for other things. अच्छा
मैम सामने
Dr. Chattopadhyay will join the panel discussion. Thank you, sir. And over to you, to our moderator, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Thank you very much. Students, you can imagine what, powerful panel today we have here, and most welcome Professor Chattopadhyay. And taking cue from what, let me continue taking cue from what Mr. Guho told. There are, few important areas. One is India is trying to develop a lot of product instead of services. India is also investing a lot on space technology, defense technology and all. So, and also he spoke about payment, patents, speeding up of patents, filing of patents. So we are so fortunate that today we have Ms. Watkar, and I'll go to Harshada and understand, because her core job is all around patents and technology transfer and helping. See, India is world's third largest startup ecosystem. And valuation of startup depends on how many patents and IPs you have. Today, developed nations are developed nation because they have the patents. Patent is playing a very, very key role in new, business. And in New India, patent, we all know that they have tried to speed up the patent allotting process and everything. So what India has changed in recently, and how exactly it also helps in new startups collaborating with industry and becoming a real valuable company. Harshada, if you can put some light, and over to you, Harshada.
Thank you. So there are already a few points which are made by my fellow esteemed panelists. I'd like to touch base on that first. The Global Innovation Index, sir mentioned that we have risen from 80th position to I think 48th this year. There are universities who are filing a lot of patents, and the data is almost correct. The number of patents are increasing. The policy efforts are there from the government. But my question to the students and to fellow panelists also is, even if the patent filing is done, is it really industry ready? So industry, because I work with the tech transfer office, when we talk to the industry, they want usually high TRL, that is technology readiness level. So they want high TRL products. Or sometimes, I was discussing the same with one of the professors here as well, that sometimes problems are there posed by the industry, but the academia is not really working on solving those problems. So even though patents are filed, those are not really usable by the industry. So the shift that is there to be made, and that's why we are working on a lot of awareness sessions and bridging this gap where industry ready solutions need to be provided. And I think academia is best suited to do that job, because industry doesn't always have the capacity. Their internal R&D is always, as you rightly mentioned, sir, you innovate and you thrive. If you don't innovate, for example, Nokia died down because they just couldn't keep up with the updating technology, and others like Samsung and Apple thrived because they kept innovating, they kept coming up with new inventions. And of course, patents. I mean, just one simple smartphone has over 20,000 patented inventions. So, patent is a little part, and innovation is a larger part. So, one invention can lead to more than 10 patents also. So, the legalities and technical and the clerical aspect of it, I would say that the researchers shouldn't worry about it. Leave it to your, you have IP cell in the university, and almost all universities have this innovation councils who are well equipped. At least they have connects with people who are doing this patentability assessment.
So if one of the students who are also parallelly belonging to the entrepreneurship club of the university, they have some innovation. So whom should they go to for patents, so that, you know, whatever they have innovated has some real value in the market?
Right.
Whom should they go to?
So I think from the institution point of view, there is IP cell they can go to, and they will facilitate the patent filing. If they want free consultation, they can come to us. We will guide them, and we can have like a meeting on where we'll understand what you have innovated, if it is patentable or not. Before doing all that, I'll suggest go to patents.google.com, which is, you know, the way, what is research? We search everything on Google. Everyone, Google is the go-to search engine for almost all of us. So, for example, before coming here today, I Googled all the co-panelists to know who I am sitting with today, and what will be the common factor or where I can add value. So this is the basic thing. Or I'm sure for the students also, koi naya banda aa raha hai, to you of course Google, go to their Insta page, see where they have been earlier. I know I have done it in my days, and I'm sure everyone does it. Maybe the apps have changed. We used to do it in Orkut and Facebook back in the days. Now it is other social media platforms. But it is like very common. You want to know something, you first go and do the research. So Google Patents is a free to use platform. It has data from almost 16 countries. Chinese, Korean, etc. patents are translated, so you get fair understanding. It is not technically 100% accurate, but at least you can know whether, you know, someone has already invented it or not, and what you have invented, does it satisfy the first criteria, first and foremost essential criteria of patentability, that is novelty. So if it is published anywhere, even if it is your paper, you won't get a patent because it is already published and you don't have novelty. So patenting is important, but we go a step further and tell that just patenting is not enough. There has to be enforceability. You should be able to enforce your patent. That means you should be able to stop others from using it. Then only industry will be interested in investing money. Also, there are some grants you mentioned, sir. There is one huge grant that helps startups or students or entrepreneurs in getting started. And they have set budget for IP filings, which is BIG. It's a Biotechnology Ignition Grant. It is limited to life science inventions, but BIRAC, which recently completed, I think, 11 years. So it is Biotechnology Industry Research Association Council, I think. I'm not sure of the full form, but BIRAC is the quasi-governmental body who gives out 50 lakhs without expecting returns. So you have 50 lakhs is a huge amount for a startup to get started, to work on creating an MVP, the most viable products, which they can introduce to the market. So there they can undergo IP filings and market assessment.
Tell me one thing, on behalf of the students, many students actually ask us, can process be patented? Can formula be patented?
Okay, for what cannot be patented, I'll suggest everyone to go take a look at Section 3 of Indian Patents Act. It lists down what is a non-patentable subject matter. To answer the particular question that you have asked, so process, yes. Although there are few things, I mean the nitty-gritties are like known use of a new use of a known substance cannot be patented. For example, same medicine, if it is used for headache and then you find out, okay, it works on stomachache also, you cannot go and patent it. But nowadays, you know, everything is little bit of modification of existing inventions.
So that can be patented.
It can be patented provided it has inventiveness. That is the second criteria of patentability, which is non-obviousness, or it has to have some human intervention where you have conducted some experimentation. One cheat code you can say that patent office or the controllers are not going to go and test it, what you have submitted. If you have sufficient data, even if it is in ideation stage, you can go and protect it.
So I think, young minds needs to still get lot of educated on how the patent thing works actually.
Yeah.
So lot of things needs to change on us as far as patent filing, technology transfer, all this works.
I think India, we are still lagging behind. The project I'm working on currently is funded by World Bank. So World Bank through BIRAC, they have set up 7 regional tech transfer offices, one of which is IKP. And we have been trying to raise awareness for this very reason, because people are not really, in India, I think Ather is one of the examples. Ather Scooters is from IIT Madras. Now it's a spin-off company and they're doing pretty well. But other than that, I don't find examples, even when we go and talk to people, Indian examples where I can tell that, okay, this technology has come from the academia. Usually industry is innovating, but for example, Gatorade, everyone knows what that energy drink is. It was invented by professors of University of Florida, and now you can see it on shelves everywhere.
We see academia enterprise collaboration inventing, giving us a lot of innovations actually
Yes.
outside, in the abroad, in the
Correct,
developed nations.
correct.
So that culture, I think, gradually is coming to India. But as far as, all these developed nations are concerned, a very unique thing is they have a lot of patents. And one big thing, we talk about pharma lobby, we talk about, defense lobby. So these are actually ruling the world. And when India is trying to become a superpower, India is also getting into that game. So pharma is, you remember during the COVID days, India resisted foreign vaccines to come into India. So these are you can recognize when you see a cub of a cat and a cub of a tiger. Both look similar when it is very young. But looking at their pug, you can understand which one is the baby of a tiger, and gradually it will grow up. So India is looking like, a baby of a tiger, which will become a tiger very soon. And India's tone is different nowadays. That is the reason India could actually resist a lot of foreign vaccines. And India made vaccines also invented in outside but manufactured in India. Vaccines actually took place. So pharma globally plays a very important role. Well, patent is important, in clinical research is important, which actually makes India very strong. And biotechnology is among students are very popular. But after pursuing biotechnology, where you go, what do you do, what is the kind of research, how exactly you enter into pharma industry, and what is the future if you are actually in India, how India is poised to become. See, India is the capital of generic medicines and they are supplying to the world. So there are few wonderful facts about India. When I was talking to Mr. Borun Bhattacharya offline, I came to know, I'm so happy that we have him today in the panel. And very rare to find a pharmaceutical company from Eastern India. Most of them are there in the Hyderabad and Bangalore and Ahmedabad and all. So we are privileged that we have you, sir, today with us. And so many things similar to your industry, patent, clinical research, where industry, academia, collaboration, and students see a future there. So if you can put some light in these areas.
Actually, the pharma industry is a knowledge-driven industry, and it is a very regulated industry. In terms of doing research, in terms of manufacturing medicines, if you go for doing research, you have to comply the GLP norms, good laboratory practice. if you go for manufacturing, you have to abide by the good manufacturing practice that is recognized by WHO or FDA. Recently, India government has proposed the revised schedule M, which is equivalent to WHO GNP. So it is very regulated market. But as sir is speaking about that, the India pharmaceutical industry or a industry does not have an infrastructure like a research institute, that all things are in their industry, in their capacity. Out of the 3,000 pharmaceutical industry of India and 10,500 like manufacturing units, 80% of pharma industry is MSME, that is below 250 crore turnover. So the capacity of investing money in the research purpose is a major factor for doing research. So whenever you go for any research for any kind of 2 to 3 types of new products you may consider. One is, first, India is the king of generics. 20% of world generic market is controlled by India. And if you go for the generic research, you also do some clinical work. Or if you go for the innovative new product research, 80% of money required for the clinical research. So you should or you ought to go for the collaborative research, either with academia or with the CROs, that is clinical research organizations. That is very important. And for the perspective of research or other things, as madam is talking about the patents, only the wild microorganisms are not patented in India. Outside India, it is patentable. Apart from that, process or anything significant that changes with other things can be patented. But if you make a patent molecule which has an in vitro activity for a certain kind of disease-causing organisms, it is not necessary that it can be transformed into a product. You have to go for the formulations or generate the formulation for delivery system. So if it is transformed into the product, so you have to do the formulations and other studies to make it a viable product. Then you go for the clinical studies. This is the finished product. And you got the patent of a molecule that has the biological activity. This is different. So if you are going for a finished product, that should have the 3 or 4 characteristics criteria that should process that. It has a longer shelf life. During formulation you have to ensure it. It has to be delivered in a good packaging that can ensure your shelf life. You have the requisite drug controllers approval for marketing and manufacturing license. That implies that you have to go through the clinical research. If it is a Me Too product, that is generics, at least you have to go for the bioequivalence studies or bioavailability studies. So entire things cannot be done by the industry, and industry is only interested if it can be transformed into a product, it has that capability.
So there is a scope where academia and industry can actually join hands and collaborate for,
We have, sir, because we have in the market a product for prostate enlargement with IICV.
Okay.
That is Prostalin.
Excellent.
We have transformed the IICV technology into a product. Okay. That they have suggested, it is a plant-based product. They have suggested the plant parts. We have developed the product and tested for its efficacy and got the license for marketing.
Excellent.
Another example has been that the biotechnological products. We are doing research on therapeutic enzymes, probiotics. For probiotics, maximum data has been generated and we are using that probiotics which is used in the Western countries. But if the consortium inside our intestine has a difference between the people in the West and us. So if you can deliver the consortium organisms to the right place in the right time, that is the organisms isolated from our intestine to us, that will be more efficacious and better efficacy than the organisms available in the research based on the Western people's consortium. So we are developing these things, and for this purpose there is a criteria from the WHO to consider it has a therapeutic effect. So for that purpose we have to go for the studies for intestinal cell line attachment. The ST1 cell line, CACO2 cell line, these things. We have a major research project with NICET, Calcutta. We have done this and we have got a fantastic results.
Sir, for the students who are studying today, in future India, what is the scope of biotechnology students?
This is a huge potentiality, but there is two kinds of discipline biotechnology have. One is the MSc biotechnology,
Sir,
one is the
your mic closer, please.
MTech in biotechnology. That is the engineering part. For the MTech, they maybe opt for the production purposes, that biotech industries. And for the MSc, they will go for the laboratory purpose, R&D and quality control. So for the general science, the persons who are studying MSc biotechnology, they should have possessed the PhD degree at least, because going to the R&D and quality control, they need a better in-depth of knowledge rather than going for only MSc.
Okay.
And in the future perspective, they have a limitation for their career for the next higher level.
Very good insights. Very good insights. Thank you. So, privileged to have, I'll come to you. So, we are privileged to have Professor Chattopadhyay, and he, Calcutta University is one of India's premier universities, fourth runner in entire nation. And how exactly, sir, you see academia and industry collaboration for research shaping up? You can talk from here also.
May I address students directly?
Yes. You can.
Good evening. First of all, I must thank the SNU administration for inviting me. Particularly, I came here because Professor Dhruvajyoti Chattopadhyay, who is your Vice Chancellor, previously he was Pro-Vice Chancellor of Calcutta University. And today what I am, there is a major contribution from Professor Chattopadhyay, I should acknowledge. I am also Chattopadhyay. Now the problem in the system is, what I have seen here, students, they are busy in phone, okay? That means we are unable to attract the students, what I think. Why you took admission in MSc, biotech or chemistry? What is the basic reason? Who will answer? Give answer. The straightforward answer is to get job, okay, to earn some money. That is the first objective, if I am not wrong. So what I would like to tell something about, Sarah was talking about Calcutta University. So we must know the contribution of the P.C. Rai, Prafulla Chandra Rai, Acharya. He used to stay in Calcutta University and he started first Bengal Chemical, first Indian-owned chemical industry in India. Okay? And his student was Meghnad Shah and Satyen Bose. So are we successful teacher? Are we able to produce student like that? Are we honest? What is the answer? That is missing in our society. Okay? For what we are getting money, we are not contributing. Okay? And I will tell the success story of another Bengali, I used to say living legend. Nobody in industry or Indian Chamber of Commerce knows about him. He is another Roy, Sukumar Roy. They came to India from Bangladesh after partition. His elder brother was communist leader, 3 times MP from Dhanbad, Ajay Rai, student of Applied Chemistry of Calcutta University. He was unmarried, died 2 years back, committed to his ideology. His youngest brother, Sukumar Rai, he is a textile engineer from Sirampur College. Why I am telling the success story to students? In 1990, he started his own business after purchasing a loom from Thontoniya Kaliwari area. Now they are running 450 crores business, 3 industry at Vidyasaul Industrial Park at Kharagpur, 1 at Uttarakhand, 1 at Bangladesh, 1 at Bangalore. He is known as tube man, the tube which is used in all lead batteries. Lead is infused inside the tubes. And he is master in textile technology, means high temperature resistant glass fiber mat. I am working with that, 450 crores from 1990 to 2024. Nobody knows about him. He used a car, Brezza. I use more costly car than him. He used to sit in a 10x4 AC room at the age of 87. That is the dedication. Okay? Now, I am well connected with all polymer related industries in India, okay, through my students. I joined in Calcutta University in 2006. Now for students, I would like to ask some questions and I will give the answers. What is most costly in your life? In my life, most costly? Huh? Tell me. Time. So I am here. If I will spend 20 minutes, I will not get it back again. Okay? Time is most important. How different you are. That means, are you able to create your own brand in any form? That is very important. Out of 50 students, how you are different? How you can be different? That means you must have some rare qualities. What are the rare qualities? Basic honesty, and you have to inculcate good values in you. Because that is missing in Indian society nowadays. I am not here to tell you some rosy picture of India. Why? Any country cannot be a developed country without education, proper education. What is the contribution of the government in education? Day by day it is reducing. In research, what is the amount they are giving? Day by day it is decreasing. That is the true fact. Now in industry, if you talk about, some industries are of course growing. But which industries? Pharmaceutical, no doubt is there. Till date, in world over, 70% of the solar panel is manufactured by China. We are unable to make even paracetamol in large quantity. We used to import paracetamol from China. That is true fact. We use car, all rubber chemicals, maximum around 80% imported from China. Why? What is the reason? The reason is that we are unable to connect the educated people of our country with the industry. We the Bengalis were against Tata at Singur. We the Bengalis were against chemical hub at Nandigram. Then how the Bengal will grow? How is it possible? This is not possible at all. Now, where is the gap you have to find out? In your personal life, in your anything, where is the gap? Where you can contribute, then only you can grow. I opted for academics not by compulsion but by choice. Okay, I was in industry for 2 years. Then anyhow, I didn't find good atmosphere in industry, I left. I used to say chemistry is the mother of all subjects. You must understand the periodic table if you would like to do anything. Any chemistry, any material, pharmaceuticals, anything if you would like to develop, you must know the periodic table. Otherwise, it is next to impossible. Blood picture in state and also in India. Not at all good. Where the educated people of our country will go? Where is the job? Not in government sector, not in private sector. Because infrastructure is the main business in India. India developed vaccines, no doubt is there, because we have that talent. The major problem is the distribution of wealth in India. That is why market is not here. Pantaloons is giving advertisement first time before puja in TV. Why? You will not find many customers even in pantaloons and shopping malls. Why? There is no wealth distribution. Wealth is concentrated into some few families. That is the problem. Business. Now, PC Rai at that time started Bengal Chemical. Okay? If I am going to start any industry in Bengal, if I will earn by some honest means, then people will pull him. Create problem for him. You are a teacher, you can't do business. Why? Nobody will give you support. I am working with 3 companies. I am telling you some important things. Where you can contribute, the students can contribute. First of all, you must know periodic table. I am telling you the truth. Because atoms are the building blocks of all materials. We are the building blocks of our country. If we are not honest, if we are unable to truth, then as per corruption index, India is at the last, probably after 100 among all countries. Why the situation is like that? Now, what I am doing, I am telling you, it may little bit motivating.
Sir.
I am from the polymer. Okay, just 2 minutes.
Can we again come back to you? We have to release Maharaj.
Oh.
He has a train to catch.
Sure.
So we'll come back to you again. Okay.
No, actually, I would like to address the students what
Yes.
instead of telling them the rosy picture of India.
Okay. So, Maharaj, coming back to today's original topic, the research opportunities of academia in industry and industry and academia joining hands, and where skill is a subject. So, what is the current situation? How do you see that happening through your own experience?
The current situation
And
is...
what are the current, coming up skills which should, be given importance to?
See, current skills India te ja hocche ekhon, hands-on skills je ache na, hands-on skills. So there is the constant demand on that. So that will forever remain. But then there are IT-based skills which are booming. So any amount of students you train in IT-based skills, and they will be absorbed in the job market. And after some years, they may even go into their own businesses.
So, Maharaj, in that respect, do you see, because of AI coming, there is a probability of, unlearning and learning new things.
Yes, very much. It's already started and it's already underway.
See, in 70s, the people in Bengal said, no need for computerization, it will
Correct.
eat up job.
Correct.
But we missed being the Silicon Valley, and Bangalore became the Silicon Valley.
Yes.
And we, resisted computerization. Now there is a voice, resist AI. So it is also like initial days of AI, computerization, AI. And if we resist AI, we'll again lose jobs, because new jobs would be created by AI, as people are saying. How do you see it, Maharaj?
Go to Bangalore. And if you take a demographic survey of Bangalore, 50% are Bengalis.
Bengalis, yes.
আপনি বুঝতে পারছেন ব্যাপারটা?
Correct.
So it is a question of creating a ambience, a platform. Bengal state might not be able to create that platform, but then there are boys and girls from Bengal who are getting educated in this dismal or pathetic atmosphere, and they are contributing. So এটা কোন দিকে যাচ্ছে? The way I look at this is, yes, in a very small term view হচ্ছে গিয়ে, what are the new areas where we have to train the boys and so on. But in the larger perspective, what I am seeing is, so there is a mixing of talent and demand all over the world.
Yes.
So কিছুদিন আগে আমাদের assistant general secretary মহারাজ সিঙ্গাপুরে গিয়েছিলেন, and in Singapore he met students who are trained in our college.
Yes, okay.
That is a very interesting thing. That is because, you see, there is a huge industry which tears down ships in that place. ঠিক আছে? We don't have that industry here. So they are trained to do those kinds of welding. So the moment you have, it is like the famous Indian saying, sir, if the flower opens up, the bees will come. So similarly, if you have raised your talent or skill to a certain level, so the job that is meant for you will attract you.
Okay.
It's anywhere in the world.
Yes.
So oibhave I see very, very with due permission from professor, there is a wonderful future.
Correct.
We see, when I was a student, like somebody pointed out here, I can't recall who did that. When I was a student, I didn't have these many opportunities, but in my lifetime,
yes,
I am seeing so much.
So much,
Sir,
yes.
apart from what is that called? Medimix, Lifebuoy, and Arakta. Ei sabun chada I have never used any in my life.
Yes.
And today you've got a whole section.
Maybe Santur.
Santur hai. There's a whole section of, you're spoiled for choices.
Correct.
This is going to increase.
Yes.
It's going to same with cars. Ambassador Fiat chada, we could not imagine a car.
Correct.
I had seen only photos of them. Today so this is going to increase. Eta joto increase hobe, the scope for training, scope for investment, scope for making new things, it certainly will increase.
And Maharaj, India is has a very, very empowered middle class, and we have lifted many people from poverty.
91 bollo na keu, 91?
Correct.
That birth happened in 91.
Correct.
Because,
that is the trajectory that
yes,
we changed everything. So, respecting time, because you have to catch a
yes,
train,
sir.
I'll quickly...
So with the permission of the panelists and Mrs. Bose, I'll take leave. We'll meet again some other time.
Yes.
Huh? Thank you very much.
Thank
Please
you, Maharaj.
continue with this.
Yes, I'll continue. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. So, Mr. Guho, if I can come to you, I share a live example with you. One of the, relatives, he was studying, MBA school abroad. And before taking, when the last semester came, time for campus came, so there's an international brand. They have campus in France, Dubai and all. So after spending a lot of money, he got into the Dubai campus. And when the campusing was about to happen, they asked, where would I get the job? So they said, obviously in India, because India is only giving the job now in the world. So he said, why the hell did I spend so much of money in, getting educated outside? If India is giving all the jobs. But India is giving jobs, private sector is flourishing. But why, Mr. Guho, private sector is not investing on research? Are they really investing? Is there any progress in research pertaining to private sector? Or is it only limited to central government?
Right now, most of the research funding coming from central government and government organizations. Some of the private organizations, they are, I'll tell you, they are funding for design and research, and how it affects that also I'll tell you.
Tata is funding
I'm telling you, Adani acquired the company, British company Halcro. Halcro already had all the technologies on ports and all. Now Adani acquired Halcro. After that, today Adani is having all the best technologies, and not only that, Adani knows who is the best professors, best researchers and all sitting in this world. That's why Adani is already monopolizing their business all over the world.
Just one point.
But
even I have a client.
Birla is failed. Why? Because Birla is not interested.
Even I have a client called Usha Martin. They have acquired an R&D company in Europe called ECC, and they are actually also investing in R&D. But that has happened in Europe. Indians are going and working under that company, and they are opening a branch also in India. Yeah. Carry on.
No, exactly, and that's what other private companies, they need to invest in this type of private universities also. For example, Harvard, MIT, and all, Oxford, Cambridge, all are private universities. But in India, industries and all, they are not taking interest on investing in private universities. So that is one problem. And in government also, Government Research Institute, I did my post-graduation from IIT. I have seen it is very tough to get any fund from, it's a huge, tedious process to get any fund from even central government. So I think still most of the funds are coming in today from central government. Why? Because before 2014, we are not interested in manufacturing. Now we are interested in manufacturing. We are going for self-reliance. We are thinking for disruptive technology. So that's why that investment is there. Earlier, this investment was not there. Earlier, what we are doing, where either we are taking design from the central government organizations, or maybe taking license from any foreign companies for their designs and all. Yeah. But right now we are opening our own design things.
In 1995, when we become the signatory of GATT, the entire scenario has been changed. You
Right.
have to
But people say
reverse engineering.
we signed GATT premature, little early, without reading the...
How long you can protect your
Yes,
country
that is
from
also
the GATT?
true.
You are copying others' technology.
So
Sir,
do you see...
what sir was telling that is that pharma industry is our Indian pharma industry is
Are
the
also
largest
having-
producer of penicillins.
Correct.
The JK, Alembic, they forced to stop their penicillin production during late 90s or early 2000 because the technology is better than the Chinese to us. But the power they consume, the rate of the per unit of power the Chinese companies acquire, they have paid for to the government. Our is immensely huge. The difference in the power.
So do you see coming days pharma would invest, Indian pharma companies, more on R&D? Happening, it is gradually.
India, in the investment for the purpose in the pharma industry or any industry, it is depends on their goal of the growth. Their
No, as you
outlook
were
is
telling
different.
me offline, that cost of a drug mostly because of the clinical research.
Yeah.
So you have to do more clinical research, and their academia can come and also join
Actually,
hands.
you are fixing the drug price also. There is a DPCO.
Yeah.
You cannot determine your price of your own.
Yes, you cannot.
Suppose paracetamol, 650 paracetamol, you have to sell this at
This range only.
This range on that.
Correct.
And there is a marginal 10% increase of this
There will be
drug
hue and cry.
annually. So what is the enhancement of the salary of the workers and the executives and the managers?
And clinical research cost.
There is no cost for the same drug for the enhancement.
No.
So you have to manage these things. And this time the infrastructural specification, the manufacturing specifications, their GLP regulations is changing. It is more stringent than the 80s, 90s, 2000, and you have to put money on these changes, and that will incur cost to your product.
So
Actually, the persons from the industry understand that how much you have to invest for what type of product you have.
correct. Okay.
It depends on your strength of your marketing team, which kind of product that company may sell.
Right.
A 250 crore company cannot sell a vaccine.
Yes, true.
That is why in outside in Western countries, the R&D companies for pharma, the marketing company and the manufacturing companies are different.
Different
concept
SBUs.
and that time that concept is coming. That is why the loan license B2B concept is coming.
Right.
The loan license concept that companies have the excellent manufacturing facilities, but they do not market.
Okay.
That will produce or manufacture drugs for you.
Okay. So Harshada, while summing up, do you think technology transfer and all these are going to be more in India coming days?
It has to be.
Culture?
It has to be, because we have just started, and I wish to mention special mention to Calcutta University, because we don't have we did not have any tech transfer offices earlier. So Oxford Innovation, I think they came here. Which year was it, sir? So some year, I think it was few years back when they came, because when I started working in this region, I did patent analysis of all the institutes. And special mention because Calcutta University was the only one which had international patent applications. None of the Indian universities, other universities.
Yes, Calcutta University, since we are from the same city, we don't give lot of importance, but Calcutta University is still front runner in many cases.
Yeah.
And we should actually fail to project Calcutta University. And in fact, in foreign universities, I'll also come to SIR because we have to wrap up. It is already 4:34 now. Sir, if I may come to you, why foreign universities spend more on R&D and research papers? We find in media that foreign university has done some research and come out with this. You see, Oxford University, AstraZeneca made this vaccine.
The problem is those who are holding high positions, okay, they must have some vision, okay, in university, in politics, whatever it may be. They must have some vision and they must have dedication, they must have some good objective. Otherwise it is impossible. If everything is political, then who will give the importance? In case of country also, he was talking about Adani, okay. Now Mukesh Ambani is the major manufacturer of petrochemicals, okay, polyolefins, polymers I am talking about. All Indian petrochemical industries for making polymers purchasing catalyst from abroad. Nobody is investing a single penny for development of the catalyst, which is the core of the petrochemical industries. Okay. That is the main problem where we are lagging. I am actually against patenting. Don't take it otherwise. The reason is that previously there was no patent. When C.V. Raman discovered Raman instrument, everywhere you will find. But the problem is patenting means you are restricting free flowing of knowledge, which will ultimately retard the growth of science and technology. I am telling you, he was talking about business will not run by reversing. In polymer industry in India, all businesses are running due to reversing only, sir, only.
No, that is not true. I am not talking about that. Because that after the
that is
1970 Patent Act and
I
up to
understand,
1995, you have to. You cannot set apart your country.
Secondly, I am telling you, if there is no patent, there will be no incentive for a researcher.
And there is no...
who is willing to...
Sir, just a minute. Who is getting... Suppose I am employee of one R&D. If I discovered something, okay, how much the patent in maximum cases scientist is debarred from that.
No,
But
the man who is...
will get the patent.
The man who is investing...
Debarred.
No, just...
Debarred. He's saying debarred. Organization gets the patent.
Exactly.
organization is taking risk. If you go for 100 research, only 3 or 4 it will be fruitful. So that organization is taking huge risk. So they must get that patent.
And also Mr. Guha,
It is 1%, sir.
yes,
1%.
huge investment.
That is 1%. So those who are investing
take
for
risk
this one,
must get the credit.
Which can be transformed
But-
into a product is 1%.
But nowadays, giving credit and giving part of the royalty is
you
also
taught, just a minute, you
started.
taught electronics for last 70 years or 77 years. Nowadays, when we are going to open our semiconductor industry, government had to send our master's degree students of IISc Bangalore and Roorkee to Taiwan. Then what the hell research we did? We did nothing.
I think this is
That's why-
Because he told
that's
you are
what-
against computer in 1990s.
No, I'm not only 90. That is only in West Bengal. I am talking about whole
And
India.
even in India.
So
no
you must
semiconductor
give
industry.
some.
No, there is
you
no
must give
culture
some
of
incentive
patenting.
to the research institute.
That is the reason, they developed. We have to go and seek technology from them and seek for technology transfer. I think, sir, there is a
Just
signal.
One
Yes.
comment on this.
Yes.
So
And-
to solve this discrepancy, when people fight, lawyers come in.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
The solution to this is having like a strong agreement where even researchers are.
Get their dues.
Yeah, basically they are also encouraged and
Yes.
they get a cut of what university is getting. I understand that academia or even industry, they are providing resources
They're
and
taking
they're
risk.
taking the risk. Although patent filing cost for academia is 1600 rupees, the official government fee, it's not much. So academia can file as many patents as they want. Drafting fees might vary based on law firms, but have like strong IP policy in institute, in industry also, where if there is sponsored research, have like proper clauses wherein inventors are given a cut off if the invention works out. So it's a win-win situation, and that's why we
I think with
negotiated.
that note, we'll come to the end of this panel discussion. Very enlightening, very, lot of insights and very, we have debated, we have given new insights and perspective. So thank you very much, all the panelists. We sum up here with the hope that India will also progress in technology, academia, industry will come and join hands, and our future talents will also have a better future in India. Thank you very much, all my panelists and all SNU and Macaus. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all the eminent speakers. So we were having a panel discussion on the opportunities in industrial research collaboration. So time to wind up for today, but before that, may I please request Ina ma'am to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ananna. Whom to thank to an empty hall? I'm so sorry to my speakers because you'd well appreciate that our students, they start their day before 8 in the morning. So it was quite late for them. We have exceeded our time, but they can't exceed their time. So most of them have left, but a couple of very senior faculty members are here. Dean of our Basic Sciences is also here. HOD of our Chemistry department is here. So more relevant to your discussions. To sum things up, let me say that it was a wonderful day, very happening day. From morning, you people have missed it. We had a person representing Korea. He is basically from Indian Chamber representing Korea. So he was there. We had the former director of ISRO. We had very eminent people, including this panel and Swami Vedatitanandaji. So it was really a very, very happening day. And thanks to Makayas, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Asian Studies, and the director, Professor Sharup Prasad Ghosh. He has been basically the idea, even the theme of the day was decided by him. So he was the main brain behind it, but we missed him. he has some important, urgent commitments had cropped up, so he couldn't take part in the day's program, but he was really a very big help to us. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.